Hey everybody, it's Dave again. Today we're going to be doing something slightly different. We're going to stray away from the cars today. But speaking of cars, I did go out and try and clean the Volvo with my steamer and I dropped the plug. So we need to change a plug. I broke it. So yeah, let's get on with that one. Okay, so if we look at the plug, here's the damage that I did. I shattered this whole side. So we need to change that plug. First thing we're going to do, undo these 3 screws. We're not going to undo these 2 all the way. These 2 hold the cable into the actual plug itself. It's like a cable clamp, but we are going to undo that one. That's the one that holds the clamp, the actual plug itself together. That's the screw that came out, and it came away with a piece of plastic. Okay, so now we've loosened those, we can pull the plug apart. Now you can see the damage that I've done there. There's another piece of plastic, little shards inside, little broken pieces there. We don't need those. And that's the actual damage that we did to the plug. That, as you can see, totally unusable. So what we'll do now is we will undo those ones just to take the cable clamp off, and we will undo all 3 of these, and we'll save the fuse. There's nothing wrong with the actual fuse itself, it's just the plug is broken. Okay, so out of all that, the only thing we're keeping is a 13 amp fuse. Okay, so here's a bunch of plastic and a bunch of metal. That's now scrap. So we're going to use a replacement plug now. This one's a brand new one. It does show you on the actual socket itself where the cables go. The way that I remember it is use the second letter of the colour. So blue, BL, goes left. Brown, BR, goes right. So let's get into this, shall we? Okay, so we can see here how this actually works. We've got 2 screws, decent thread on them, and they hold in a little white clamp just there. Okay? Now if we have a look from this side, what happens here is the cable comes in, sits underneath the clamp, and that holds everything tight. So it, if there's any shock on the cable or anything like that, it doesn't pull the cable straight out of the plug. So the idea here being, we undo the clamp just enough to get the cable under, but not enough to take the actual clamp off, because that's a pain to get back on. I don't like doing that. And then we take the cables and we push them back through underneath the clamp, and we'll do the clamp down. If we route the cables roughly into where they need to be, and then we can do that clamp down. Probably undid that screw a little bit too much, to be honest. There we go, one little bit each side so that the clamp comes down nice and even and pinches onto the cable itself. Okay, so we can see we're almost there now. You can see the actual cable itself now has been clamped. I'm pulling on that quite hard. That's not coming out. So all we need to do now, put the blue one in the left, brown one in the right, earth one at the top, and this one already has a 13 amp fuse, so that's handy. We don't actually have to change the fuse over. There we go, like I said, a little bit fiddly, but just to make sure you get this right, take your time. And this one, I always have trouble with this one, so I'm going to see if I can do this one out of the actual plug itself. Third one's usually the tightest. So I put that in there. I have to undo that a little bit more. Screw that onto there. Screw that back down. And you'll find that should slot quite nicely into its holder. Pull that fuse out for a minute. I think I may have to undo this cable clamp just a touch. Just to pull a little bit more slack through. There we go. Push the fuse back in. We'll do that cable clamp back up. Give that another quick pull test, that's fine. Okay, so as you can see there, we've got the plug rewired up, blue on the left, brown on the right, neutral right at the top there. Pop the cover back on. And wherever that big screw went, oh, still captive, we'll put that right all the way back down. So, as you can see now, that is one secure solid plug. Give that a good pull, nothing's coming out. There we go, happy with that? There we go, all sorted equipment ready to use again. In the meantime, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.